Welcome, listener, to a journey of understanding, connection, and wisdom. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both profound and practical: how to enter a woman's mind with 3 powerful conversations, guided by the timeless philosophy of Stoicism. Whether you're seeking to deepen a romantic relationship, strengthen a friendship, or simply understand the women in your life on a deeper level, this guide will equip you with the tools to foster meaningful, authentic conversations. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, teaches us to live with clarity, emotional resilience, and virtue. It's not about manipulation or control, but about cultivating self-awareness and empathy to connect with others authentically. When applied to conversations, Stoic principles can transform how you engage with women or anyone by focusing on what truly matters: understanding, respect, and shared growth. In this audio, we'll explore 3 powerful types of conversations that can unlock deeper connection: the conversation of curiosity, the conversation of vulnerability, and the conversation of purpose. Each is grounded in Stoic wisdom, designed to help you listen deeply, speak thoughtfully, and build trust. These aren't scripts to memorize, but frameworks to embody, allowing you to enter someone's mind not to control, but to connect. Why? Focus on women? Because, while human connection transcends gender, women often experience the world through unique social and emotional lenses. Understanding these perspectives while staying true to Stoic virtues can make your conversations more impactful. So, let's begin this journey with an open mind, a calm heart, and a commitment to wisdom. Let's start with the first conversation, the conversation of curiosity. Stoicism teaches us that wisdom begins with the admission of what we don't know. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. To enter a woman's mind, you must first master your own, letting go of assumptions and approaching her with genuine curiosity. This conversation is about asking questions not to interrogate, but to understand. It's about creating a space where she feels seen, heard, and valued. Too often, we enter conversations with preconceived notions about what someone thinks or feels, especially when it comes to women. Society bombards us with stereotypes: women are emotional, nurturing, or complex. While these may hold some truth, they're often oversimplifications. The Stoic approach is to set aside these biases and seek the truth through inquiry, curiosity. In this context, isn't just asking questions for the sake of it. It's about cultivating a mindset of openness. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This is the foundation of the conversation of curiosity. It's about listening to understand her perspective, her experiences, and her inner world. Before you can be curious about someone else, you must be at peace with yourself. Stoicism emphasizes self-control and emotional clarity. If you're anxious, judgmental, or preoccupied, your questions will feel forced or insincere. Take a moment to center yourself. Breathe deeply, as the Stoics advise, and focus on the present moment. Let go of any need to impress or control the conversation. Your goal is connection, not conquest. Imagine you're at a coffee shop with a woman you're getting to know. She mentions she's had a tough week. Instead of jumping to solutions or assumptions, pause. Ground yourself in the moment. Ask yourself, what is within my control here? The answer: your attention, your words, and your intent. This Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control sets the stage for authentic curiosity. The heart of this conversation lies in the questions you ask. Open-ended questions invite her to share her thoughts and feelings without judgment. They show you value her perspective. For example, instead of asking, "Did you have a bad day at work?" try, "What's been the toughest part of your week?" The first question assumes and limits. The second invites her to share her story. Here are some examples of open-ended questions rooted in Stoic curiosity. What's something you've been thinking about a lot lately? What's an experience that shaped who you are today? How do you find balance when life gets overwhelming? These questions aren't just prompts, they're invitations to share her inner world. They show you're interested in her as a person, not just a surface-level interaction. Listening is where the magic happens. Stoicism teaches us to observe our thoughts and reactions without being swept away by them. When she speaks, resist the urge to interrupt, fix, or relate everything back to yourself. Instead, practice what Seneca called the art of listening fully present, without preconceptions. For example, if she shares that she's stressed about a work project, Don't immediately say, "Oh, I've been there," or "You should." Just relax. Instead, reflect back what you hear. It sounds like this project is weighing heavily on you. What's been the hardest part? This shows you're engaged and validates her experience without hijacking the conversation. Silence is a powerful tool in the conversation of curiosity. The Stoics valued reflection and restraint, understanding that words gain meaning when given space. Don't rush to fill every pause. If she hesitates or takes time to think, let her. Silence signals you're comfortable with her pace and aren't pushing for answers. It creates a safe space for deeper thoughts to emerge. Let's paint a picture. You're on a date, and the conversation turns to her passions. Instead of asking, "What do you do for fun?" you say, "What's something you love doing that makes time disappear?" She lights up, talking about painting. Instead of saying, "Cool, I like art too," you ask, "What is it about painting that feels so special to you?" She shares how it helps her process emotions. You listen, nod, and ask, "Can you tell me about a painting you're really proud of?" The conversation flows naturally, and she feels truly seen. Now, let's move to the second conversation, the conversation of vulnerability. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless, it's about understanding and directing emotions wisely. Seneca wrote, "There is no need to show your troubles to others. It is enough to know them yourself." But in relationships, sharing vulnerabilities thoughtfully can create profound connections. This conversation is about opening up, not to overshare, but to show authenticity and invite mutual trust. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but in Stoicism, it's a strength. It's about being honest with yourself and others, acknowledging your humanity without being ruled by it. The conversation of vulnerability is about sharing parts of yourself, your fears, dreams, or challenges in a way that invites her to do the same. It's not about dumping your problems, but about creating a space where both of you can be real. Before you can be vulnerable, you must practice Stoic self-reflection. Ask yourself, what am I comfortable sharing? What fears or experiences shape me? Marcus Aurelius advised, look within. Do not allow the special quality or worth of anything to pass you by. By understanding your own vulnerabilities, you can share them authentically without seeking pity or approval. For example, maybe you've struggled with self-doubt in your career. Reflect on how that experience has shaped you. Are you ready to share it in a way that's honest but not self-pitying? This clarity ensures your vulnerability feels genuine, not performative. Vulnerability doesn't mean spilling your entire life story. It's about sharing something meaningful that aligns with the moment. Start small. If you're discussing dreams, you might say, "I've always wanted to travel the world, but sometimes I worry I'm not bold enough to make it happen." What's a dream you're chasing? This shares a piece of yourself while inviting her to open up. The Stoic principle of temperance is key here. Don't overshare to impress or manipulate. Share to connect. Your vulnerability should feel like a gift, not a burden. To encourage her vulnerability, make it clear you're not judging. If she shares something personal like a fear of failure, respond with empathy, not solutions. Say, "That sounds really tough. I admire how you're navigating it. Want to share more?" This aligns with the Stoic virtue of justice, treating her emotions with respect and fairness. Vulnerability can feel risky. You might fear rejection or judgment. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control, her response, and focus on what we can, our intent and authenticity. If she doesn't reciprocate, that's okay. You've acted with virtue, and that's enough. Imagine you're having dinner with a friend. The conversation turns to challenges. You share, "I used to struggle with feeling like I wasn't good enough at work. It took me years to realize I was measuring myself against others instead of my own growth." Have you ever felt something like that? She opens up about her own insecurities. You listen, nod, and say, "That takes a lot of strength to acknowledge." What's helped you through it? The conversation deepens, and you both feel closer. This conversation builds trust because it's mutual. You're not just extracting her vulnerabilities, you're offering your own, creating a bond rooted in authenticity. Finally, we arrive at the third conversation, the conversation of purpose. Stoicism is deeply concerned with living a life of meaning. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This conversation is about exploring what drives her, what gives her life meaning, and how you can align with her values to build a deeper connection. This conversation goes beyond small talk to explore her aspirations, values, and vision for the future. It's about understanding what makes her tick and showing that you respect her purpose. Women, like anyone, want to be seen for who they are and who they're striving to become. This conversation shows you're invested in her growth. Before you can discuss her purpose, reflect on your own. What are your values? What drives you? Stoicism encourages us to live in accordance with nature, meaning to align our actions with reason and virtue. When you're clear on your purpose, you can engage in this conversation with authenticity. Ask questions that invite her to share her dreams and values. For example, what's something you want to achieve that would make you feel truly fulfilled? What's a value you hold that guides your decisions? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, not just in terms of success, but in terms of who you want to be? These questions show you're interested in her deeper motivations, not just surface-level goals. When she shares her purpose, resist the urge to one-up or compare. If she talks about wanting to start a business, don't say, "That's cool. I've thought about that too." Instead, say, "That's inspiring. What drives you to want to build something like that?" This keeps the focus on her and shows you value her vision. As the conversation unfolds, look for shared values. If she values creativity, share how you appreciate that in your own life. If she's driven by helping others, reflect on how that resonates with you. This creates a sense of alignment without forcing it. You're on a walk with a woman you're dating. You ask, "What's something you're working toward that really lights you up?" She shares her dream of writing a book. You respond, "That's incredible. What kind of story do you want to tell?" She talks about her passion for storytelling. You say, "I love how you're driven by creating something meaningful. I've always admired people who can bring ideas to life like that." The conversation flows into a discussion about creativity and purpose, deepening your connection. And there you have it. 3 powerful conversations: the conversation of curiosity, the conversation of vulnerability, and the conversation of purpose. Each is a tool to enter a woman's mind, not through manipulation, but through authentic connection rooted in Stoic wisdom. These conversations aren't just about words, they're about embodying virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. As you practice these conversations, remember Marcus Aurelius' words: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Approach these interactions with sincerity, listen deeply, and stay true to your values. The goal isn't to win someone over but to build mutual understanding and respect. So, go forth and have these conversations. Be curious, be vulnerable, be purposeful. You'll not only connect more deeply with the women in your life but also grow as a person, living in alignment with the Stoic principles that lead to a meaningful life.